everybody. I'm down in my bar here. I'm about to do a little surgery on my Indian Challenger touring seat. Now I did it on the standard seat, the one that comes with it, but that's not the one that I normally ride on. So I used the original standard Indian Challenger seat to experiment with what I'm gonna do on the touring seat. So I'll pop up a few pics and I'll come back with a little bit more video in a sec. So I guess it's a perfect time for me to show off my Indian motorcycle bar mat. And these are some of the tools and things I'll be working with. Got a pair of scissors, screwdriver, some jigsaw blades, you know, cutters, ruler. Most important thing is a power operated, battery operated or pneumatic type stapler, because you'll never be able to drive the staples in this thing and hold the cover on at the same time. So I'm using the Gorilla spray adhesive. I've had good luck with it with all the seats that I've done, which are only on my own. I've never done anything for anybody else, but this is the seat I'm talking about. This is one I'm gonna be working with. You can see it's for the wide boys like me, or girls, we like them thick. So that's the one I'm gonna be modifying right here on my bar. I just want to give a quick shout out to some of the folks that I know and appreciate because they support me and MGW Clothing. Ride Culture, Riding Fish, BC Customs, Poles of Honor, Minnesota, and especially Law Tigers, Minnesota. All right, so like I said, I'm getting ready to do the seat, but I thought I might as well get me a drink one time, right? We got a little bit of White Rabbit Imperial Porter. Chiffon over here putting away the root beer while I'm drinking the real beer. So this is the underside of the seat, and as you can see, they really got it stapled in all the way around, and that's the reason why you need that battery operated pneumatic stapler, because trying to hold one of those ones that you do by hand while holding the seat cover in place, it's too much. I've tried it and you can't drive the staples very good. So first I'm going to do is pull out a good majority of these staples, probably back to about here, because I only am going to work on that sort of backrest piece and then the seat where I sit. I don't really care about the passenger. Okay, so the way I get these staples out is I just use a really fine screwdriver like this, flathead, right? And I just get under the staple a little bit and pop it. Now I'm not trying to take it out because, it'll be difficult with this to do it. So usually what I do is I go around and I pop all the ones that I want to pull out first. Then I'll use the side cutters to grab a hold of it, pull it right out, and then I just throw it in a little cup, because I'm sure you could imagine stepping on one of those barefoot, because I am in the bar, that's gonna hurt. Okay, so I've gone through and taken off the staples up to about this point right here. So what that allows me to do is just pull this seat cover back. Now there is a little bit of a challenge, because right here, right, which is kind of where your butt crack goes, they have a piece that goes down in and through the seat, and you maybe can't see it, but it's right here, and it's got a flap on it which holds that piece down in there. Otherwise, think about it, it would just pop right up. So you kind of got to stick your hand under here. You can kind of see where it goes in right there, right? You see it right there. But then you just kind of stick your hand in under here and you flip this through, right? And then you can pop it out. So Then what that allows me to do is pull the seat back and expose the whole cushion where I sit, right? So that's the seat back, seat bottom. I'm gonna end up cutting some of this out, and I'm gonna end up cutting some of this out to give my big giant butt with my big giant tailbone room to not be on this hard cushion, because even though this is the touring seat and everybody's like, oh, it's so comfy, it's not for my tailbone. It's everywhere else is just fine, but where my tailbone sits, it's not. So that's what the process is that I'm gonna be working with today. Okay, so what I did next is I kind of drew out, traced out where I'm gonna cut. So I found the middle of the seat as best I could, because you know it's awkward shape, so it's a little funky, but the curve kind of worked out good for me. So to be honest with you, I used something like this this is not what I actually used on this one. I used something bigger, but I'm just saying you can use something like that to create a pattern. I did the same thing on the back. This technique worked fine for me on the standard Indian seat, so I feel like it'll work fine for me on here too, only I needed to make it bigger and I needed to pull it more forward, because apparently when you sit, your tailbone curls underneath you, and I didn't compensate for all of that in the last one. So the other one I probably brought out to here, you know, about maybe 2.5 to 3 inches. This one I'm going even further, but I'm gonna bring it in, right, similarly to a shape of your actual tailbone. So I'm gonna actually go to this curved line, not the point that I have here. I put the point there just the way I measured it, but then I'm gonna actually cut around this curved part here. You don't really want angles in anything like this, because an angle is a place where you could have a crack or, you know, a tear, that kind of thing. So roundedness works much better. So that's why what you see here is rounded. Now, when I cut this, I'm not gonna go straight down, okay? I'm gonna actually go in at an angle. And the reason for that is because I still need support. I'm gonna fill it in with some really soft memory foam from a mattress topper. It's worked great for me on some of the other seats that I've done for myself. So I know it'll work. I just need to get it deep enough so that, you know, that 2 inches can go down in there. And if it's more shallow than 2 inches, I'll trim it. But the point is that part of the reason why it's so wide is to cover my tailbone, but also to give some, you know, angled wall for that memory foam to stick to and still create some support around it as well. So by the time I'm done, the middle and probably about, you know, this much of it will still be just memory foam. And then I'll angle in, and that part will be a combination of this seat foam and the memory foam. All right, so I went ahead and cut through the back and the seat itself, and this is kind of what I ended up with, right? So you can see how I have it kind of tapered, and it's an ugly cut, I admit that, but the truth is, by the time I'm done, when I add the memory foam in there, and I also have a sheet of this cover foam that I'll put over it to make it more even and make it seem more like one piece, right? So I'll use this to kind of finish it off so it doesn't look so ugly, right? But ultimately, what I need to do now is just kind of straighten out these cuts that I did, because I didn't do a very good job. But, you know, hey, this is not what I do. But at any rate, so I'll clean this up a bit before I add the other pieces, the memory foam, and then once I get the memory foam cut and put in there, then I'll come back. All right, so I got the bottom piece of memory foam glued in. and the back side as well. I'm just using this piece of cardboard here to kind of keep it separated so they don't stick to each other, because as you recall, I needed to have that slot there so that this piece can go down in there and you know, hold the back of the seat in. Otherwise that'll just bubble up, right? So, all right, so now I added that top piece of foam. You can see, I mean, this is how it's gonna look, right? So then when I put the cover on, it's more uniform, more even. So, you know, what I'll do, of course, is trim this here in a second. So that'll be the next step. But I got it all glued in with that Gorilla Glue. That stuff works good. I think I'm getting a little high over here, actually. All right, so I cut around the foam, that cover that I made, right? So it's a little bit more conformed to the seat. And, you know, guys, as I mentioned before, this is not what I do. I don't rebuild seats on a regular basis. I don't really even work on, you know, the motorcycles or cars that much anymore. I work in IT, but that said, I'm also cheap, and that's why I'm not paying somebody $800 to do this for me when I think I can do it myself. So if it comes down to that, then I'll have to delete the video. So now I'm just going through and stapling it back on. You can see I put some staples here so far. Got one over here. Just working my way around. What's unfortunate is that with this staple gun that I have, some of these places are hard to reach because of this ridge here. And I don't know if you know, but you have to depress this safety button in order for it to shoot a staple. So I'm out of staples right now, but I'll capture me doing a couple of them. And there you have it. All covered back up, stapled in, at least where I can reach putting a staple in anyway with this particular gun that I have. There's a bit of a gap here, and same on the other side, but I think it'll be fine. I put probably what feels like 2,000 staples in it. So hopefully it'll hold good. Hopefully it'll work good, because my backup plan really is to send it out to like Alligator Bob or somebody like that if my truck